Hi everyone, how are you doing today? I hope you're all well. This is a special edition of Ginger Gerald Stitcher, so I hope you look forward to what I have to share with you today. Welcome back if you are a returning viewer or if you are a new subscriber. Thank you for subscribing. And if you haven't subscribed but you've been checking me out for a while, make sure you hit the subscribe button, like the video if you like what I'm showing you, and let's get started. So today, I have prepared for you a run through of all of the finishes I have had in 2020. Now, initially, before I even got started, like collecting everything, I was thinking, I haven't really been very productive this year. Then I pulled out all the stuff that I finished and I was greatly surprised with everything that I have been able to finish or fully finish this year. Some of the stuff I can't even show you because I don't have it here anymore because I've either gifted it or gifted it away. So let's go ahead and jump right on in. I'm going to start with my knitting because that's usually what I start with, and then my cross stitch will end up the show. So here is all of my knitting finishes for 2020. Let's go ahead and get started right off the bat with one that I'm going to say is a finish, even though I haven't fully finished it yet. I still have the patches to sew on. However, I think I might do it before the end of the year. So I am filming today on Christmas Eve. This is December 24th, 2020. So I still have a few more days to finish all of these things up that I have, that I'm going to show you in this video. However, I think this is going to be a fully finished. I just need to sit down and take an hour and stitch on the patches. So here is my first finish of 2020. This is in no consecutive order, but this is a sweater that I found out of the Vintage Rowan. I think it's Vintage Rowan books. I don't have the book handy with me. I completely forgot to grab it. However, this is what is it, like a cardigan, a button-up sweater. I finished this, I believe, in March. So this is using Holst Garn, super soft in Marlin. So that using two strands knit together. And then I bought the buttons last November when I was in New York City. Where are the buttons at? And I'll show you. Here we go. Buttons that I bought in New York City in the garment district. And I love this sweater. It's kind of unfortunate because it's not my favorite sweater that I've knit. I really like it though. It just doesn't fit right now. So hopefully whenever we come into 2021, I will be able to wear it again. So there is finish number 1. Then, let me see where I want to put everything because I have so much stuff here to show you. I finished a lot of socks. So here is one pair of socks that I finished. This is using the Holst Garn yarn that I got for Christmas last year. There might be some fuzz because I've worn them recently. And did I do this? I knit these toe up. So these were one of my first pairs of toe up socks that I knit. My first pair of toe up socks that I knit, I gifted away, so I don't have them anymore. And I really like the toe up method. That's now my new favorite method that I'm going to use. I learned some new things this year, especially in the knitting world, that I'm going to carry on into 2020 or 2021. So the toe up socks is one. German short rows, which is what I did with these socks, are for the heel, is another one. I really like the German short row heel. I'm not a fan of the wrap and turn heel, which I did on the first pair. But the German short row I really, really like. And I like knitting the toe up, especially whenever I have 50-gram skeins or 50-gram balls of yarn, so that I use up the entire length, the entire amount of the yarn. So this is my pair. However, I've knit 2 pairs toe up so far. Then I also knit a few other pairs of socks using the cuff down method. This is one of them. This is using the cuff down, and this has the heel gusset, or the the healing, whatever that called, the basic sock heel gusset. Is that what it's called? I don't know. It's not my ideal way of knitting socks. This is using, let's see if I can get a skein. This is using the Queensland cassowary that I bought from Webb's on clearance. I have a whole bunch of this now that I can use for socks or whatnot. It's not, obviously, I think this is called avocado, maybe rainforest, I don't remember. But that's the type of yarn that it is. It is a 70% wool, 30% nylon. It's super fine fingering weight. And it's like a single ply. I'm fairly certain it's a single ply. What fell? This cabinet is my yarn storage cabinet. So there we go. Another pair of socks that I have. These are not for me, these are for someone else. That's another reason why I'm filming this now, because a lot of my knitting finishes are going to be Christmas gifts. So I have to film them before I can wrap them. So there we go, another pair of socks finished. Then I kind of went crazy on the scarves. So the first scarf that I finished this year was, and let me see, where is my knitting pattern book? This is a, I hope I still have the pattern. Okay, apparently I do not have the pattern anymore. But this is a Manos del Uruguay pattern that is free on their website. I believe pretty much all of their patterns are free on their website. I forget what this one is called. Dentado? Now I know, it's Dentado. Dentado by Manos del Uruguay. And here is the finish. This is one of my favorite scarves I've knit so far. I really, really like this scarf. I love the way it turned out. And the, I just think it's a great scarf. It was a lot of fun to knit. It was a pain in the butt at times too. However, so it uses two different colors of yarn, and you start with one as the main color and you end with the other, the contrasting color, as the main color at the end. So this is using Holst yarn. You're going to see a pattern here. Holst yarn in the, it's the cotton wool blend. So it's not the coast. Holst yarn coast in, and I don't remember the color names, to be honest. It's like Pepto-Bismol pink, but that's not really the name. And then I think slate gray, maybe? Slate? I don't know. So I really, really thought this turned out great. I think it looks fantastic. I'm really pleased with the end results of it. And to be honest, okay, so I've now knit with both the Holst yarn Coast and Super Soft. I kind of prefer the Coast over the Super Soft. I think it has a little bit more, I don't know, I like the way the fabric drapes with the Coast versus the Super Soft. This is the Coast. This is also knit with 2 strands to give it a thicker density than the super fine that a single strand is. Just like my sweater. My sweater is the Super Soft. Words are just evading me today. But I do have a scarf that is knit with the Super Soft. So here is the Super Soft. So this scarf is This is my pattern book that I keep all of my printed patterns. I know most people like to have them on their devices and just use them that way. I'm not a big fan of that. I like to have paper copies, so then whenever I travel with my knitting and everything, I can easily share. I can easily carry my pattern without having to take a device with me, not have to worry about it being charged or whatnot. So this is the pattern called Haze. I think this is a free pattern on, no, I think this is a paid for pattern on Ravelry. It's Haze Fisherman's Ribs Striped Scarf by Julie Hoover. There you go. And this is using super soft whole yarn in 3 different colors, and I forget the colors. I really like this scarf. I think it turned out great. I love the Fisherman's Rib, and you'll see why I love it so much here in a minute. But so it's like a cream, a gray, and then a blue. I didn't pick the colors. This is for a gift, so the recipient picked the colors. And there is the finished scarf. I think it turned out great. It's really comfortable to wear. It's nice and long, and it has that thickness to it. However, I kind of like the drape of the coast. So this is super soft. This is coast. So I was mentioning that I've learned a lot of things during 2020. One of them being the Fisherman's Rib pattern. I really like the Fisherman's Rib. The other thing being, what did I already say before? Oh, the socks, like the toe up versus the cuff down, and the different types of heels. So the other thing I have to show, so with that, because I said I learned how to do the Fisherman's Rib, I wanted to start using up some of my yarn that I have available, so that I've had just sitting around. So I've had some skeins of 100% acrylic that I bought years ago to knit scarves or whatnot for gifts. So this is one of them. Again, I just did the basic Fisherman's Rib pattern on this. I don't know the name of the yarn anymore. I don't have it with me anymore. It's like it's a Merlot type color with flecks of gold in it. And so I made 2 scarves out of that. This is COVID knitting. So 2 scarves like that, super simple, didn't have to think too much on those. And then I just finished this month another scarf using the Vanna White yarn and the Fisherman's Rib. So there we go. 3 more scarves using Fisherman's Rib, all in 100% acrylic, but I can definitely use these as gifts because, you know, a lot of people, it's just easier to gift with acrylic yarn for people who might not be wanting to take care of a 100% wool, whatnot. Excuse me. All right, the last thing I have to show you in my knitting is I went ahead again with some acrylic yarn that I've had. I knit up the pattern called Wheat. This is a free pattern by Tin Can Knits on Ravelry. It's one of their pattern and tutorial designs. I like this one because it has a section of rib in the midst of garter stitch. And unlike the original that used 1 color, I went ahead and did 2 colors. So I had a blue and a gold, or like a brownie gold. And there we go. So you can see here the rib section versus the garter section. And I think it turned out really nice. I really like this scarf. Again, another simple one that I could knit easily on while watching TV or traveling. I think I took this one when I went to Ithaca this summer, and I worked on it in the hotel, and there we go. Another super simple scarf, and I used up a lot of yarn that I've just had laying around, which is and was my goal for 2020, and will be continuing to be a goal for 2021. All right, let's get into some cross stitch. So again, I was thinking cross stitch finishes were very few and far between. I don't remember doing, I mean, I remember stitching all these things, but I don't remember, I'm very surprised how many finished items I have in 2020. So first finish of 2020 is one that I never thought I would ever finish. This is the frosted pumpkin, what is it? Frosted pumpkin stitchery, it's frosted pumpkin. The passport stitch along that I started years ago, and I finally finished in 2020. So this is on a 32 count, it's either dusk or dawn by Picture This Plus, and it's using 2 strands over 2, right? Did I do 2 strands? Yes, 2 strands over 2 on the 32 count linen. It is a linen. And there we go. I love the way it turned out. I just lost interest in this pattern because it's not really my style anymore. I liked it when I first saw it years ago, and I started it, that was towards the beginning of my cross stitch, reintroduction to cross stitch, but then I just kind of lost interest in the cutesy-esque of it. But I love travel, so that's why I thought it would be fun to stitch. I really liked stitching the Frosted Pumpkin National Park stitch along, but this one just really didn't float my boat anymore. And then I was like, I was going to put it away. I was only going to do the top row, and then I was like, no, I'm going to finish. It would kill me if I didn't finish it. And then finally in January, I finished it. So I think this was like a 3-year-old pattern, 3-year-old stitch, but it is now complete, and I've done nothing with it since. Then I believe the next finished design I had was my Celtic banner. So I don't have a picture of what this would look like what the model looks like. However, this is what mine is. I stitched this on, I think I started and finished this year. This is on a 40 count Verdal even weave, Verdal even weave, 40 count Verdal even weave, 1/2, using the called for threads, except because my stitching store did not have the Caron watercolors, whatever the Caron is, for the border. The cottons, I used the silks so the same colors, just in silk instead of cotton. And here is the finished piece, and it's a long one. There we go. I love this piece. I'm not sure how I'm going to finish it yet. It's probably going to be like a soft finish, a banner or something like that, a bow pull, but I just have not finished it yet. And there we go. And it's still not big. It's still too low. Maybe I can get it right there. There's the length of it. Really, really happy with how this turned out. I love stitching on this. And it's a finish. So this is this 40 count Verdal is a 40 count Verdal that I coffee dipped. So basically I took the white Verdal and I just dipped it in coffee and let it dry. And I really like the effect of what it does. So there we go. The next finish, oh, that's what I was doing with it. I had it hanging on here. I hang my my finishes in my closet, in my craft closet, on pant hangers. And then pant hangers or wooden hangers, and then it doesn't really affect, it doesn't get creased up or anything like that. My next finish I have is Lady of the Flag. Now I'm super excited about this. It is finished, except I have not put the signature on it yet because I'm still waiting to be able to afford to get it framed, and I want to have it framed a specific way, and I don't want to sign it until I know that I can frame it the way that I want to. Once I know I can do that, then I will frame it the way I want, or I'll put my signature on. It's going to be a unique way of doing it. So here is my Lady of the Flag. This is on a 28 count Lugana, hand dyed by XJU Designs in a kind of custom colorway for me. It is her Dark Sands colorway, but then I had her do a little bit special, different thing just to get it a little bit more the way I wanted it to be. And I absolutely love it. I think the colors pop on this fabric. I think it's an amazing piece of fabric for it. I actually have an entire half yard of fabric because of the way I wanted to frame it. I want to make sure I have enough fabric for the way I want to frame it. And I'm going to keep that a mystery for now. So I will tell you the beads. This is the very first, another new thing of 2020. I've never beaded before this piece. I'm not a beader. It's not my jam. I mean, more power to you guys and gals who love the bead. It's just too fiddly for me. But I love the final effect of what this looks like beaded up. And there she is. Absolutely love this piece. Now, I am not a Mirabilia fan. I think they are beautiful. It's not it's not my style for stitching. However, this one holds sentimental reasons. For some reason, because it kind of reminds me of the old ladies, or the Liberty coins that you would have from the 17 and 1800s in the United States. And my dad was a coin collector. So that's why I wanted to stitch this piece. And there she is. Love this piece. I love the way it turned out. Wasn't my favorite thing to stitch on. Next finish of 2020 was another way I hang mine, again, pant hangers. The Vickery collection World Globes. Now this was a gift to me from BubMe on YouTube and Instagram. I met her at the Midwest Cross Stitchers Retreat. Have been good friends with her since. And she sent this to me whenever she had me in a smalls exchange. This was a gift to me for my birthday. So I absolutely, as you can see, I love globes. So this is no surprise that I wanted to stitch this. And here is the final piece. This is on a 32 count sampler gold from Color and Cotton. I think it's called sampler gold. This is stitched 2/2, right? Yeah, 2/2 on the 32 count using the called for DMC. This was surprisingly as many colors as is in this piece. This one stitched up really, really quick for me. And I love it. I absolutely love it. I initially stitched it for my office. However, now I think I may hang it here in my home instead of the office because I have other plans for the office. But I love this piece. I love the way it turned out. I love the colors. I love Vickery collection designs. You know, he was a master of color to help the design, to give it a real life look. And we all know I love designs, pieces that are very realistic looking. So again, 32 count. Love this. All right. Next up is trying to keep some kind of organization here. The next finish I had was my, Riolis Bonsai Tree. And that's not the name of it. I think this is called Longevity or something about longevity. This is on 14 count white Aida using the called for wool acrylic yarns that come with it. Stitched 2/1. So 2 strands of the wool acrylic over 1X. So here we go. I can't see what you're seeing, so I'm hoping you're seeing everything. I love this piece. I think it's gonna look great in my garden dining room. And it re-energized my love of the Riolis designs. I will say these tree, the leaves or the pine needles on the tree, I did not enjoy stitching. But everything else was a lot of fun. This stitched up again really quickly and is complete. All right, let me go ahead and get this back together here real quick. And that's just what I do. And then it hangs in my closet. That's right here. With my project bags. I do the same thing for unused project bags or project bags that I'm just not using the design in them right now. I will just I'll put the project bag here and hang it on the clothes hanger in the closet, and it provides storage for all of that kind of stuff without having it to be on a shelf or the floor or whatnot. All right, so I have 3 more finishes that are recent finishes that I'm going to go ahead and show you. One is the Bookmark that I stitched out of the Nature's Reflections book. This is from 1988. Again, I did this bookmark right here, or what I'm making it into a bookmark, using my own colors from Color and Cotton. I don't remember the names of the colors. This is on that 40 count coffee dipped Verdal. And I really like the way it turned out. I know that white is kind of hard to see on the film. However, whenever you're looking at it close, it is you can see the definition of the trees. So that was a super quick stitch. I just need to finish it into the bookmark and still not exactly sure how I'm going to do that. This is stitched 1/2 on the 40 count using those Color and Cotton threads. I stitched the railroad crossing and I finished it. Railroad crossing signal for like a railroad crossing. This is going to be for I'm probably going to make this into a flat finish and then put it on a plate, a decorative plate holder. I need to finish this one soon, within the next week or so. However, there we go. This is on a 14 count Ada, and I forget what I bought this at Hobby Lobby. It's like a gray cobblestone kind of color, but that's not the name of the color. I forget what the name of the color is. Using the called forth DMC 2/1. And then I have my Buzzard Talk, which are these are some of my favorite finishes of 2020. This is a hand-me-down from my mom, who also stitched these for my dad. That's why they have sentimental reasons for me. These are from 1985 and 1986. So here's the thing. I don't have the second one completely done yet, but I'm going to call it a finish of 2020 because I will have it fully finished in 2020. Here is number 1, which is Go Ahead, Make My Day. This is stitched on a 28 count green gray from XJU Designs, 2/2. And as of filming, here is where number 2 is. Pretty far along. I will definitely have this done before 2021 is complete. These are a fairly quick stitch as well. I think I turned off my camera by accident, so I'm going to piece these two together. So I completely forgot that I have 3 more finishes from 2020 that are actually sitting right behind me. And these are my own designs. So my 3 old street lamps that you can find decorative ornaments for Christmas or the holidays, winter holidays. This is the wreath. You can find these on my Etsy store. There's the wreath, the garland, which is my favorite. However, I think a lot of people really like the wreath. And then there's the ribbon. And I think the ribbon you could even make into a design with different colored ribbons for special causes or reasons that you're interested in, such as breast cancer awareness. Just change the color of the ribbon. And it doesn't have to be a Christmas ornament then. So there's the wreath, the garland, and the ribbon, which you can find on my Etsy store, which will be linked below. So those are the last 3 finishes that I had from 2020. So I hope you enjoyed this walkthrough of all of my finishes that I've had this year. I really love stitching and knitting, and I know I have big plans that I'm going to talk about in another video coming up shortly, that I'm really looking forward to 2021 and all the plans that I have for 2021. So I will have another video that is all of my projects that I'm carrying with me into 2021. So those projects that are not yet complete, as well as some unfinished objects that I'm not going to continue working on. I'll talk about that in another episode, as well as I will have an episode for all of my plans for 2021. Well, not all of my plans, but a lot of my plans for 2021, the big plans. So until we see each other again, I hope you all have a great day. Happy stitching. Don't forget to comment below, as well as subscribe and like, and I will see you in the next episode. And until then, happy stitching, and as always, don't forget to always be creative.